Today is March 14th. The Yankees are dealing with a whole bunch of injuries, and who is going to play? That's my biggest question I've been asking people. Who's the Yankees? Let's talk about it.
Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by SeatGeek. If you use code JOMBOY Preseason when you purchase tickets from SeatGeek for the first time, you will receive $20 off.
15% off.
15% off.
Which could be more than $20.
Yeah. Jomboy Preseason is the code at SeatGeek, and you get the app, and they have all the bubbles and all that, and they make you feel good. Go to the World Baseball Classic game.
Yeah.
Those are happening.
Joe said he's going.
Spring training. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Said that for a while now.
Yeah, okay. My name's Jimmy. This is Jake, and we got BBD here, and we are back after a long week of a 5-day filming week, so we didn't hop on the mics for any of these like impromptu. Besides Rodon, we did, but Bader's kind of big. Like it's the second.
Affects a lot of other guys.
It's the second biggest, and the backup news on Rodon kind of calmed the waters there. So then this Bader injury might be the biggest to the makeup of the team.
Ooh, James Davis. How's everyone doing? Yeah, crazy week last week. You still hear it in my voice. Blitzball Battle 3. Get ready to watch it. Still got the goatee, Yankee hat, Timbos because of the snow today. Got some look like New York looks today. I look like a guy that spills a drink on your girlfriend at Stan's, and then he kind of talks shit about you.
Iman's a big Talkin' Yanks fan, and I feel like you kind of have like 2003 Iman vibes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Shout out.
Look
how you said. So I'm doing all right. Yeah, man. The Bader injury is tough, and I mean, pretty eye-opening when we did his PPP, and the guy doesn't have a lot of full seasons of baseball, and coming in with that, it changes the Yankees formula a lot, because we've been talking about left field, now we're talking about center field. We've even been talking about right field, because now with the big fella and Stanton, it's now it feels like the last, I don't know, how many episodes of Talkin' Yanks have we been talking about an outfield now? Like going back to
it's the whole damn roster.
August.
Man. We have no idea.
August.
The whole roster construction is we're getting more and more injuries, and you would think these injuries would be like, wow, good thing we can easily slide, but they're not. They're highlighting what we don't have. We have 7 middle infielders.
The logjam is still very active.
But we've been talking about how when we were saying to go get a left fielder, we're like, you need someone that can also back up center field. We currently don't have someone that's a shoo-in for that role. And here we are. And who is it? Is Hicks going to play center? Are they going to throw Judge back to center? Now, if you don't know the Bader injury, it's oblique strain, but it's a bad oblique strain, and obliques take a long time. Judge had an oblique strain, took him 2 full months. I think you have to think it's going to take 2 months, 8 weeks. That's kind of like, and we were talking to some MLB players, Trev and Moylan and other MLB guys that were on the warehouse, and they're like 8 weeks. Oblique, bad oblique, 8 weeks. So that's a pretty heavy injury. Talking about everyday center fielder, Bader's out. Who is going to get reps there? You can slide Judge, but do they want to do that?
So, and yeah, man, with Bader, I'm with you. I mean, April's out, and you're looking at, late. I mean, you put June 1 on the calendar, and you hope the under hits, but I don't know.
The under can hit, but you don't.
Right.
You don't prepare for that,
especially for a guy that has that injury history. That's kind of. It's become an interesting conversation in the sports world that like is not getting hurt a skill, and I don't know. I think you can kind of tell there's guys that run into it and guys that don't, and there's flukes along the way. So that was nothing. For me, I'm buying all the Oswaldo stock I can. I'm over it. I don't care if it's left field. I don't care if it's center field. The kid, remember when he made the diving play? We're at the warehouse last week, and you're in and out of games. We're playing, we're watching. There's some games on in between, and it's like, oh, Oswaldo made a diving catch in center, and you're like, okay, and you kind of know what a diving catch in center looks like if you watch a little bit of baseball. So you put it on. It was a great diving catch. Not to be silly, you cover ground, and if you got to make the dive or the slide or whatever it is, it was a ball tailing away from him at a tough Joker Merchant ballpark, Jim. I know you've been there on St. Patrick's Day, a couple Talkin Yanks spring trainings ago.
I have.
It was a really nice play. Like, the ball players we were with were like, what? And they then asked us, what's the deal with this dude? And we kind of said, wish we knew. I wish I knew more. But here's what I know. The kid can play defense everywhere. He switch hits. And as these outfield positions are thinning, I know he can play the outfield. And are they going to give him the keys to center field? That I don't know. What does Oswaldo Cabrera next to Aaron Hicks, next to Rafael Ortega look like? I don't know. But I know with the options you're giving me, I need that kid to play. He's young. He's fun. He brings good energy. He's done nothing but provide something to the Yankees. And I don't think anybody knows where his bat is going to land. Is it league average? Is it above league average? Is it below league average?
So I was going to say, because you were down on his bat at the end of last year.
I just don't know what it is. He had a tough playoffs. He had that hot 2 weeks leading into the playoffs. We don't know. And you could say that with almost any young ball player. But I know he's going to bring you defense. He's going to bring intensity. And if we're looking at the roster, I mean, I also think he's going to be healthy and can play. I mean, what are the other options here? You're talking about, Judge in center, Hicks in left, Stanton in right, and that opens up your DH spot. But we know they're not going to roll Stanton out there. Boone's quote was what, 40, 50, 60 games at best?
40,
Yes.
50, 60 was,
It would be,
was the quote.
there's not going to be a steady. It's going to be a rotation of something. It's just like, who are the four guys that are part of that rotation? And one of Calhoun or Ortega is now in the mix to be in that, I believe.
And you'd have to lean Ortega. Ortega can it's what we originally stumbled into, right? Like, Ortega can play center field. Ortega can play left field. I love Willie Calhoun and that body type, baby, but he's been playing left field with a kiss of DH, and it's a big left field, and he's
It doesn't grade out great.
He's about our size, but with a lot of mass on it. That I don't know how well that bodes for left field at the stadium. Do you
care about spring lineups at all? Since the news, Ortega got a start in center field. And then Florial got a start in center field. Do you just ride that out? Don't think so. And then Spencer Jones. That was a split squad.
Hot.
Dominguez got a start in center field.
Oh, there's a name.
He's a name a lot of people want to hear. Ortega got another start, and then Hicks got a start.
Is Dominguez like a big prospect having an incredible spring, though? I don't know.
Yeah. They're not going to do that.
I won't.
I don't even know if they should, but
be brave.
But
like
they
the
should
Braves.
if he's has a great April.
It should be like, I should feel like it's on the table for this year, and I don't.
Yeah.
The other guy.
I think it's on the table for later this year.
For
if
Dominguez?
he's tearing up AAA.
Yeah, I mean, he has a path.
And Bader gets
hopefully
re-injured or something.
One of the storylines of this year is hopefully a youth movement, right? Volpe is supposed to be on the way.
Volpe.
We'll see what they do with Peraza. We'll see what they do with Cabrera. And Dominguez, I don't.
Fangraphs right now has Calhoun over Ortega for whatever that offers you. They're both lefties, which is nice. Both have 0 service time. Both have 2 to 3 options, 2 to 3 years of service time. Neither are going to be every day you run them out there. They also have Oswaldo Cabrera as a starting right fielder.
They have Judge in center.
And Judge in center. So I don't totally agree with Fangraphs. But it's going to be a complete mixture. of stuff there. I don't think they want to put Oswaldo Cabrera in a position and like that's his position.
Right.
Because he's still playing everywhere right now.
Yeah, I mean, even, you know, when he plays third base, I kind of laugh because I think he's good at it, but like that's not going to be on the table. You know?
Feels like the spot he'd be the least helpful. Keep that trick, but
he's played shortstop. He started at shortstop, started at second, started at third. Those are his last three. So the infield.
Which we need outfield. So, yeah, for me, it feels like there's an Ortega path because doesn't that feel kind of Yankees between him, Hicks, Oswaldo, Judge, Stanton? You form a outfield rotation kind of easily that way, and then the Yankees will take a breath of catch a breath of air in about 3 weeks, and they'll see what looks good, what looks bad. That's kind of been the Yankees' early season formula. I guess depending how Willie Calhoun and Ortega view their chances, it is interesting to note that Florial, he's out of options, and if the Yankees look at Florial, Ortega, Calhoun and see same, he could try to cockroach it, but I don't know. With the early lineups in spring training, it looked like they were bearing Florial, and now recently he's starting to move up in lineups and stuff, stealing some bases this spring. So I don't know. Man. It's again this roster. The puzzle pieces have seemed slightly off, and have we seen IKF hasn't played the outfield yet, even though he's been kind of vouching to play, right?
No, he's at least been starting to do second and third again. So he's at least moving around now.
Him and
but
his
no outfield yet.
Yeah, they haven't put him at shortstop since they took him off. At least it's from a starting position. It's been the last 6 games. Peraza, Cabrera, Volpe, Peraza, Volpe, Peraza. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying to like think back to the 40-man roster. I have it up. 40-man roster from last year to see the makeup of the skill sets they had, and then we replace guys. It's really similar to this year. So catchers last year, Higgy and Trevi. That's going to run that back.
Long.
First base, Rizzo, run that back. Second base, DJ Glaber. They're both here. This is just the way Hoke broke it down in his article. Third base, Donaldson. He's still here. He's going to break camp that way. Shortstop, IKF. Now, change that for Oswald Peraza, right? That's all roads seem to be leading that way.
It's a lot more in play than it was.
Seems to be trending that way over the last week.
So Peraza is what IKF was last year, we think. Outfield, Aaron Hicks, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, yes, Joey Gallo. That's Ortega or Calhoun is replacing Gallo just by the 4 outfielder thing. Or Florial if he cockroaches.
Right.
Utility / bench, Oswaldo Cabrera. So you have, IKF.
Yeah.
So
in theory.
So then Oswaldo Cabrera, Ortega, and Calhoun aren't on, and Oswaldo Cabrera is Gallo?
Yeah, you'd like to hope. You'd like to hope in whatever at-bats are currently I guess that's what's changed for me, because you asked about Oswaldo. My biggest concern about Oswaldo was them just not running him out there consistently. I think with the injuries that have taken place, they have to. Like, Fangraphs, roster resource, they take some of their own liberties. Right now it has Oswaldo Cabrera as a 5-hole hitter playing the outfield. So, I don't know, man. Like, I just think that now with the Bader injury, Oswaldo Cabrera is young, healthy, and can play every position. And I think that was a disadvantage for a little bit. And I think there's there's just too much to overcome right now that guy has to be out there.
I agree. I'm just trying to think of, so who's not making the roster? So then it's set then.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's kind of weird.
the Volpe part of it would be a wild card, but right now he's not there. So
They're playing him. He's playing so well. I don't think they're going to change their mind because every interview has been like, spring results aren't going to affect our decision making.
So yeah, it would be you'd have a catcher on the bench, in theory IKF or Peraza on the bench, and then I mean we're still going to have that DJ rotating, DJ Glaber, Donaldson, Rizzo when his back's acting cranky, which it did the other day. And then, it basically there's currently one roster spot open on the Yankees lineup, and it's...
I don't think so.
Well, it would be Calhoun, Ortega, or Florial. At least what it looks like as of now.
That doesn't match up with last year. Is there an extra spot?
Let's see. We got 4 bench
You
guys.
didn't account for Marwin last, or no?
I did. It's IKF this year. So
4 bench spots.
yeah, if I'm just connecting it to what they did last year,
Right.
there's no spot for Ortega or Calhoun.
So they only had 3 bench guys? I thought they couldn't do that.
Maybe the short. Oh, it was because COVID, the lockout. So yeah, they started with just 3 bench guys, and they had more relievers last year. And then remember they kept pushing that back, like you're going to lose this spot, and then they never did. So yeah, so there is one more. Last year they had a three-person bench to start the year.
Okay.
So then Ortega, Calhoun, Dominguez. So
Volpe.
it's not going to be them. Volpe shouldn't be on it unless he's starting every day. And if Volpe's starting every day, then what is Peraza? What is Glaber? What is everybody? I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 infielders then. If Volpe is in the mix, 8.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I don't think a move's happening. So I don't know how playing time is going to be an absolute mess. Who's getting everyday reps? Judge?
Rizzo, Judge. That's about it.
That's about it. Like, set it and forget it. This guy's playing at this position. The catchers, both catchers. But they're going to go back and
The
forth.
2 of them are trading.
Doesn't really count. Yeah, because they're rotating.
I mean, in an ideal world, Stanton
it's DHing.
is DHing.
Yeah, and also Glaber's not going to play every day, but
His-
when he is playing, he's playing second
Stanton's
base.
issue isn't a roster issue. It's a Stanton issue.
Peraza should get everyday reps. If you're starting him at shortstop,
If he's
let
gonna
him be
play,
the young
play.
starting shortstop. But then you have so many moving parts around them. It feels like they're just waiting for more injuries. Like the injuries that are happening aren't helping them. They're like, oh shit, we need some infield injuries.
Yeah. They're coming.
Yeah, they're coming. Yeah. Run them again.
They start doing tougher workouts, yeah. I don't
Rizzo
think
had
that's
the
gonna
back thing, and they're like, no, not that one. He was
Yeah.
set it, forget it.
Yeah, well, this guy, Chaparro, Andres Chaparro,
big thick.
he's gotten the most at-bats or most games, most played in the most spring games, Andres Chaparro. Oswald Cabrera and Volpe are getting the most at-bats. They both have 28 at-bats this spring, so they're getting in there.
I like that. It's a reason to
Chaparro.
watch.
1 dotting in spring training, and he was a quick riser last year. Rookie A and double A. Oh, no. They were basically just cup of coffee. So mostly double A last year.
Oh, nice.
Willie Calhoun's hitting really well for average. Ortega is hitting not for average, but is slugging better. He's got a double, a triple, and 2 homers.
Sure.
So he's got
Despite
actually a
the
higher
lag in there.
OPS than Calhoun.
I
I mean, do we care about that, or does anyone? Are we gonna have strong opinions if they go Ortega over Calhoun or Calhoun over Ortega?
I think just Ortega would be the defense first guy because Calhoun's defense grades out bad in a corner, and Ortega can play center field.
Ortega's played the last two like full seasons. He played 103 in 21, and he played 118 last year, and he plays left field and center field. So I think it's kind of clear to me who would be the guy. He's at a positive OPS plus the last 2 years. Like his baseball reference projections are actually pretty solid.
2 years combined.
Yes.
It was under last year.
Yeah.
Combine the numbers.
And and those numbers are half cooked because he's horrible against lefties. So at least you'd have like a role for Rafael Ortega. If there's a righty, Rafael Ortega can play center field or left field.
And isn't Hicks better versus righties?
I think Hicks has been last year was better against lefties. I don't know about for his career, but
Hicks is having a rough spring. Does that matter?
No.
He said he's bad at spring.
He's bad at spring.
Did our PPP on Hicks come out? Or I
Yeah.
give him a pep talk?
yeah, and he had like a couple good games leading right up to it. I think the games between us recording and that releasing, I call at least one homer in there. So that was funny. That was funny. We should read something.
Yeah.
What if I told you we could read something new? Something to get you a little sharper. Talking about qualia mind. You're saying, Jake, what's that about? And you're talking to a guy, Jim, it's on the record that I have a bad brain. That's out there. And if you're someone that deals with brain fog, memory lapses, sluggish thinking, this is starting to feel targeted, you need to try Qualia Mind. If you're struggling to stay motivated, looking for inspiration. It's designed to support the 4 pillars of cognition. It's like cognitive stuff right there, people. Energy, focus, memory, and drive. Those are good ones. If those are things you're struggling with, Qualia Mind is made by the world's top scientists and beyond the science research. If you don't have clearer thinking in 30 days, they'll give you your money back. So if this is something you're dealing with and you want to do a 30-day trial, Qualia, they're the people to do it with. Go to neurohacker.com/Yanks. Hell yeah. $100 off. All right. And use code Yanks at checkout for an extra 15% off your purchase. Okay, we're starting to get into math.
How much off?
So it's $100 off, and then you get an extra 15 off your first purchase. Okay, I get it now. Neurohacker.com/Yanks to try Qualia Mind and experience life-changing mental performance. There's a link in the description, Avi.
I mean, that's what you're going to have to take to sort out this roster, man. We've never gone into a season with so much confusion. And the plan seems to be spaghetti.
What was that?
You just got all like you just taking a handful of spaghetti and throwing it down and hoping that some of the lines straighten out.
Yes.
Every lineup.
Yeah.
Third base, rotation. Second base, rotation. Shortstop, probably rotation, shouldn't be. Left field, center field, right field, rotation.
Yeah.
If Judge is playing center, right, becomes rotation.
Yeah, they didn't. I guess that they didn't plan on right field being
Well, they never got a backup center
like
fielder.
a rotation. Right. Ortega.
But he's not going to start every day in center field.
No, but
So when lefties pitch, Judge goes to center.
like
Hicks and Judge to left.
Hicks, Judge.
They're
Yeah.
not going to play Hicks in center over Judge.
I don't think so.
They didn't do that
Maybe.
last year.
Maybe now that left field Judge is on the table, it's possible. I don't know. We'll see. I lean no.
What were Hicks's
Splits last year.
positional splits last year? What would you think they are?
Left
130 games. He didn't get to play a lot last year.
100 and left. I mean,
81 in center, 55 in left.
When did he play that much center? Start of the year?
Aaron Hicks game
Most of the
log.
way
That's how you know
start.
it's a good day.
Couple days with some swapping moving too. But
Almost all of August.
Oh, the worst month ever.
Almost all of August.
He started 64 games in center field. So how many did he play?
81.
So he started 64 in center field and started 46 in left field.
Reverse numbers.
Yeah, those are reverse numbers. And 0 anywhere else. So.
Do not expect Hicks in right field next year.
Shit, man.
Yeah. No, they want it to sort itself out naturally, which is scary. Because you're kind of playing the injury and you just don't know who or when.
Judge started 74 games in center field. So he started 10 more than Hicks.
More than Hicksy.
And that was pretty steady for a while. There's a stretch here in, what's the 7 and 8, early August, where Judge went to right field. And who's in center field then for this stretch?
Oh, you know what it was? I guess they traded for Benny. So Benny in left, Hicks in center, Judge in right.
Yeah. Yeah, Hicks, Locastro got a start. Yep, when they got Benny, Hicks went to center. Judge went to right for a little bit, but then Benny got hurt and Judge went right back to center field and Hicks wasn't around.
Hicks got put in timeout until the last couple weeks.
Dude, what is this team?
It's funky, man.
I'm not like incredibly down on the skill,
Right.
but for a while now I've been asking for consistency in positions and lineup, and we're almost so far away from that. Unless they're laughing at us and they're like, how do you not see what we're going to do?
Right.
And I'll wait and see because I'm excited to find out.
Again, there's that glut at the middle infield that, hey, Cashman surprise us and make us run to the mics. That would be fun. Feels like Volpe's earned it. My goodness. And the other thing that you have to circle back is the Yankees did win 99 games last year, and they viewed that part as a success. But yeah, for me, I've harped on it multiple times. The lineup makes me nervous because right now they list the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as Oswaldo, Donaldson, Hicks, Trevi, and Peraza, which of those 5, if they actually played, I'd bet on Peraza, and he's the one I think that of that crew they'll play the least. So that's where you have to do a little bit of mental gymnastics to get through this lineup and roster right now.
I think they'll play Peraza. I don't know. Maybe it's being hopeful a lot.
I've seen you ride the wave on that because there's a chance he's the guy that they're like the rudest to this year.
They need to be. There's a chance that Peraza is the next stopgap. And like, okay, so you never, because you would handed it to him right now, right? We're 2 weeks away. You would publicly
They at least
say
would have
he's our
said
starting
something.
shortstop. If you want him to have confidence, and you would then let him run it out there and play shortstop every day. It's how smart clubs operate.
I guess would that be? I'm trying to think of the outs on that. Would it be? Would you, if Peraza gets hurt tomorrow, like, do you think that could actually open the door for Volpe? And maybe that's why they're not pressing the button either way on that?
Sure, but Peraza knows if he gets hurt,
Right.
he's not playing. That's not going to...
Takes away
There's no
any
downside.
Yeah,
to
I
saying
guess
that.
the only thing would be if Volpe comes up and is good, which he will be, then you've created a Wally Pipp thing, because then they're like, well, you said Peraza's the starter, and then Volpe was good, and the Yankees they hate all of that for some reason.
I don't know. So then trade Peraza. I don't know. I have no idea.
One trade or injury does feel like it would just unlock whatever.
Golly.
There's a lot of confusion.
Tough spring training. What year did we pitch a perfect game in spring training that nobody got hurt? Was that last year?
I
Or
think
2 years ago?
I think
We were like in
last
shock.
year-
I think it was
Might have been
last
last
year,
year.
right? It's wild.
Peraza or IKF is giving Oswald Peraza and Anthony Volpe some love. He said, I think the two guys that are ready for the big leagues, pushing to the big leagues, are both shortstops. So if something were to happen to anybody else on the team injury-wise or something, it wouldn't be them moving, talking about like going to play the outfield. I feel like I've shown versatility in my career so far, and it'd be a lot easier move for me to do it to help the team. So he's prepped to play the outfield and other positions because he knows those kids aren't going to go play other positions.
Hey, man, another IKF quote that's like 10 out of 10. And if he wasn't kind of force-fed to us as the starting shortstop last year when he really didn't have to be, we would view this guy through a different lens. So, I mean, another good quote by him. I don't want to say we've turned a full page on IKF, but we've ended up laughing, us and Joe's and any of the other Yankees, that, you know, it's become an inside joke in the office when he talked about, he asked the Yankees analytics team for help defensively because he wasn't feeling good. And they were like, no, you're all right. And it's like, what? They help him out. And then he comes out here and he's like, hey, I'll move around, help the team. It looks like these kids are ready to play. And Yankees like, oh, hey, don't reel that in, Isiah. We'll deal with that. The guy off the field, hustle-wise, has been everything you've wanted.
He said,
not as the starting shortstop.
He said, I'm full go at shortstop, just in case something could still happen to someone else. But I understand the situation and that those players, Peraza and Volpe, are really good and they can help our team. But then he later says, if I don't win the shortstop job, I still want to be here. So he's still in the competition, but he also knows those guys are. One sentence sounds like he knows it's out, and I was like, oh, it looks like he sounds like it's out. And then now he's saying, but if I still win it. They asked him about the possibility that he gets traded. He said, it's kind of humbling that other teams would even be looking at me in our situation.
Situation.
He's happy to show off his versatility the next couple of days because I need a role on the team if I'm not playing shortstop. Damn, man. I mean, if that's what's happening, then that $6 million is crazy for a job that has cost $500,000 forever.
Right. Let's see. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
What are you counting?
15 spring training games left.
Yeah.
So, you know, we talked about the outfield situation, and they've referenced IKF playing the outfield. He hasn't yet. There'd be 2 weeks to practice that in a game setting, which is what spring training is for. Yeah, man, we're in the final go here.
The last week is usually like the starters.
You want to play the guys.
Yeah. So we will have more insight then.
You got basically one more week of like funk.
Yes. Volpe's been playing a lot and playing incredibly well.
There's a little bit in those IKF quotes that, you know, alluding to that Volpe like could be on the team. But again, that doesn't like help.
You also had Judge say it as a captain that
it helps.
They should play. Judge said a wild quote. Salacious.
Spell it.
Salicious. Salacious.
Salacious.
That's not what I said, but it was close. I got an
Do
I.
you have a
instead-
T?
No, I didn't have a T. I said an I instead of an
I
A.
think just
at some
I
point.
instead of the second A.
Okay.
Yeah.
So close.
Oh, around
Yeah.
it. No,
So-
that's a
so
word.
That's not
So
bad for
I
just
spelled
spelling without
salacious.
looking.
I spelled salacious.
Excuse me?
It's southern. It's a southern. Salacious. That's how I spelled it instead of salacious. But yeah, Judge just kind of like talking out of turn,
Yeah.
saying dumb, crazy stuff. Like, I don't know. I just think the best player should start. Come on, Judge.
It's where I don't agree with him.
I mean, the front office just like, oh, so you're a captain now. You think you can just say shit and there's no repercussions? The best guy should start? What?
Hal has to pet his fish for hours just to get over that one. And you should get your athletic greens. All great athletes have one thing in common. What is it, Jim?
Gut health.
They take care of their bodies, and that starts with optimizing whole body health, or as I call it, WBH Salacious. AG1 is great for recovery before workout or even after you need a boost. Set yourself up boost for success with 75 high-quality ingredients that give you the key daily and nutrients for long-term gut health. It's a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine. Then Athletic Greens has given you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs to go with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/Yanks. That's athleticgreens.com/Yanks. I've been trying to tell you guys there's a link in the description. Why wouldn't you look into that?
Do you want to talk about like the bullpen?
So we can.
That's very interesting. If you're, haven't been watching spring or paying attention, and then you're one of those people that you're tuning into this episode, but really opening day sneak attacks you. Sometimes you're like, who?
Yeah.
The bullpen is sneaky attacky. Weissert, Crook, both on right now, according to this. I don't think so because they don't have the web dog on here.
Right. Show a little respect. Crook and Weissert have options. The web dog, he is no option. He's every option.
He's the option.
Yeah, man. We was chopping it up with Beebs because we're on our final PPPs to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting a little messy. Weissdog, Abreu are getting close to locks on the roster. And then you get into this Matt Crook, Jimmy Cordero. Davey stands, Rays up. Who's the other guy that really jumped out? Web Dog. Snelton season. We've been on that since day one.
No, Snell got sent down, so he's not getting in.
Yeah, man.
Do you think that's what it is? Who do you think it is?
I think if opening day was tomorrow and we were looking at the Yankees bullpen, Abreu's on, no options, and they love Albert Abreu. I guess I would lean like Weissert and Web Dog. Sorry to Matt Crook stands, a.k.a. Fayao, number one dude. Just because it's the Web Dog, If they need, and to be half rude to the Web Dog, if they need someone to fall on the sword and eat 3 innings, I think they'd rather do that to Web Dog than a young pitcher just getting thrown into the mix.
What about Jimmy Norwood?
What about Jimmy Norwood?
I don't know. If he's still up at big league camp, he's getting he got some run as a reliever. They signed him.
Do you think he goes by James?
Probably. He's from Yankee Stadium.
Is it an early settler's name?
James Norwood.
From the
I don't
North
know.
Woods?
I don't know where Norwood comes from. I think it is British. I think is there a soccer player named James Norwood?
Sure. There's been. I don't know what level and what success, but yes.
I think there's a famous one.
James Norwood. It is a good soccer name.
I don't know. He just has a good ERA and he's pitched a lot this spring, but they could have sent him down. These could be old. It's hard to do game logs for spring.
Right.
Weissert, is he's got some innings in spring, 5 games. I mean, Albert Abreu's still around. I think he's going to be on the team now because he has.
There's room for him now. So.
Yeah, I would say.
Is Davey not a starter anymore? 3 games, 0 starts this spring. I mean, if he's a starter, he's starting spring games.
I think he's been following.
He's been
starters.
second guy out a bunch. I think.
I would say the Yankees would have Abreu, no options. Weissert, they half believe in Weissert. And then they would have this year's reclamation project, this year's Litke, this year's.
Litke.
So that would either be Norwood or it would be Jimmy Cordero. Because both of those guys
the Jimmies.
Both of those guys have played Major League Baseball, and I'm sure if the Yankees have them in camp, they think they can squeeze some juice out of them.
And reminder, whoever this is, these guys are that break camp, they're not going to get stashed. That's not how the Yankees operate. This guy's here, and he might not be here next week.
They'll get the most run.
Tie game, 5th inning. You're in, Norwood. Save the day.
It's April. We got to find out if we can use you later.
Tanner Tully opened. Davy Garcia came in as the piggyback. And then Jimmy Norwood came in. 1 inning clean. No hits, no walks. That was against the Twins. The Yankees shut him out.
Davey?
Nope. Davey went 3.1, 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 earned run, so that's not that good.
Crap.
And that was a little bit ago. I don't know the date. Doesn't have it on here. Again, spring training. Stats, websites. Because you shouldn't really be looking at these.
No, it's we are full blown in the hell cycle of spring training.
Cordero, he had a bad outing recently. Marinaccio was tossing the pill. I saw the social media team loving that. Herman started. I mean, look, this was like, okay, Herman's got the start, and in this game you saw Wandy Peralta, Clay Holmes, Mike King, and then Crook came in and had a bad outing.
Damn it.
2.25 hits. Yeah.
Grinds my gears.
Uh-oh. In this game, Weber got the start. Didn't do well.
What's that mean?
2.2 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 walks, so 7 base runners and 2.2, 3 earned runs. That's what they wanted out of him. It was, hey, Web Dog, treat this like we're down 7 and we just need you to get the last 8 outs. So, all right, cool. 8 outs. And you don't care what happens in between?
Has Clayton Beater gotten any spring run?
Didn't he get dropped, sent down?
Right.
Like sent to, I don't know, minor camp. He's like a Yankee top 15 prospect.
He got 2 innings. Clean.
James Norwood getting run. Sevy to Johnny Brito as the follower. And then Jimmy Norwood again, 1 inning pitch, 0 hits, 0 walks, 2 Ks.
I think it's James.
My name's James too.
Right. But you could go by Jimmy sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might too.
I've got one bad thing about James Norwood, and then maybe we stop this.
He's 29 years old, out of options, and hasn't had a great career.
Look at his middle name.
Ooh, what is it, Everson?
I don't know what it is.
You don't know what his middle name is?
It's a combination of letters I've never seen before.
So Norwood looks like it might be Dutch or some shit. Looking at that middle name.
James K. Norwood.
Critipum. Got to be his mom's
That's
maiden name,
gotta
right?
be.
Gotta be. But either way, if that was someone's last name, you'd still go, whoa.
Critipum.
Critipum?
There's someone that comes up and their name is Critipum Kruhong. What is that middle name?
Critipum.
Critipum.
Does James Norwood have social media?
There's this one guy on Twitter whose name is also Criticrum,
Critipum.
and he's from Thailand, so it's a Thai name. Critipum.
All right.
Went to All Hallows High School, which I think is right by Yankee Stadium.
And
Yeah,
St.
used to
Louis.
park in front of there.
St. Louis University. Nice. Okay.
Critipum.
That's what I got.
Yeah, I don't have much more. I'm very confused about what is happening to the Yankees infield and outfield. 2 weeks before the season, least I've known. Or maybe most I've known, but least I've wanted to know. You know?
Yeah. It sounds like we're also not so sure about the bullpen.
We're sure about the top end of the bullpen,
Yeah.
at least, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to have Holmes, King, Wandy, Marinaccio. Is there anyone else I'm missing up there? Loizaga.
Yeah. I mean, that's still 5 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're about.
And I think we're positive on the 5 starters now, too.
And the other thing, I mean, Matt Blake deserves credit, right? Like, we haven't seen a lot of dudes come out of the bullpen that you're like, oh, dog.
Yankees build bullpens. That's what they do. That is like their best skill.
I agree.
Yeah.
Fans.
Critipum.
Great.
Interesting name.
Comment it. Subscribe.
Let us know.
Comment how you think Critipum is spelled. I think we spelled it aloud.
We're saying it pretty phonetically.
Salacious.
Salacious. That's the episode, and I can't wait to find out more about how the Yankees are going to do all the things they have to do.
Dominguez and Volpe. That's
If you listen
how.
this long, might as well subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that. We like it a lot. Leave a review if you want.
We're close to
I've been
50.
saying this thing, be brave like the Braves.
Joe says that. He
I've
said it
been
on
hearing Joe say
WFN.
that.
I am at 5% that Volpe makes the roster.
Okay.
Wow.
But I don't know if
take
it's I don't know if it's good. I know it's good because he's a good player, but IKF needs to be traded, and then Peraza becomes a backup. Like IKF and Donaldson need to be out, and then
It requires 2 moves.
yeah, there's not room.
And one of those moves
I'm
would be like Peraza's not on the team.
saying
Yeah,
Rosa Cardoza.
Critipum.
hope she does well. Go Yanks! Tell them, Gramps.
Go Yankees.